Consider a population in which the largest deviation between a score and the mean is 15 points. The smallest distance also could be thought of as deviation. The smallest deviation between a score and the mean is 5 points. Therefore, the standard deviation must be which of the following? Either A, less than 5 points, B, between 5 and 15, C, greater than 15, or D, not enough information to comment on the standard deviation value. Okay, now, although it's true that we don't have enough information to comment on the exact standard deviation value, we are going to be able to identify which one of these describes it properly. And to do that, I need to point out one simple rule of thumb. Anywhere in statistics that you see the word standard, and you'll see this a number of times between now and the end of the course, standard can be replaced with average in order to make sense of what it is you're talking about. So, for example, a standard deviation, even though it's not exactly or technically the same, it's close enough to being the average deviation that you can think about it as being an average deviation or an average distance between a score and the mean. So let's say, for example, that let's say the average on an exam is 60, and you've got it, your score is 65. So how much does your score deviate from the average? Well, how different is your score from the mean? You are 5 ahead of the mean. You're 5 points above the mean. This would be your deviation. If you were to find the deviation, x minus the mean, and this is how we show a deviation, the deviation between your score and the mean, so the difference between 65 and 60 equals to 5. If you had a friend who got a 50, how close is their score to the mean? Well, it's within 10 points, but it's very specifically 10 points below. So we would find our deviation, and that would be 50 minus the mean, which is 60. So 50 minus 60, that's going to be equals to negative 10. So deviations are just the distance between a score and the mean, or the difference between a score and the mean. So what does this have to do with what they're asking us? Well, we're looking to describe what the standard deviation must be if the smallest deviation is 5 and the largest deviation is 15. So if some of your friends are 5 points from the class average and some of your friends are as far as 15 points from the average, on average, how close are your friends to the mean? Well, it's going to be somewhere between 5 and 15. If sometimes you get as close as 5, if sometimes you get as far as 15, on average, how close do you get? Somewhere between 5 and 15. We don't know what the average is. We don't know exactly what the proper standard deviation is, but we can say that if this is the smallest deviation and if this is the largest, then the average has to be somewhere in between these.